Out here the air is thin and sharp, scented with pine and ancient stone. Every breath feels like a step back in time, as if the mountains themselves are whispering stories of centuries past. The silence is profound, broken only by the distant call of a bird or the rustle of wind through the trees, reminding you that you are far from the world you know. We are deep in the Hindu Kush mountains of Pakistan, where the Kalash valleys, Bumburay, Rumbur, and Birir, hide like emerald jewels. These valleys are cradled by towering peaks, their slopes blanketed in forests and wildflowers, and their villages tucked away as if nature herself is guarding them. The journey is grueling, treacherous roads, sheer drops, and unpredictable weather test every traveler. Each turn brings a new challenge, from landslides to sudden storms, and the path demands both courage and patience. Yet, with every mile, anticipation grows, fueled by the promise of discovery. But the reward is a landscape of terraced fields, roaring rivers, and orchards heavy with apricots and walnuts. The valleys burst with life, children laughing by the water, farmers tending their crops, and the scent of fruit ripening in the sun. Nature here is both generous and wild, offering sustenance and beauty in equal measure. This geography is both fortress and sanctuary, allowing the Kalash to preserve their ancient way of life. The mountains form a protective barrier, sheltering traditions that have survived for thousands of years, untouched by the outside world. As you descend, the outside world fades, replaced by the wind in the cedars and the chime of goat bells. The rhythm of daily life here is set by nature, not by clocks or calendars, and the sense of peace is almost tangible. Here, time is measured by the sun, the moon, and the seasons. The people plant and harvest according to ancient cycles, celebrating each change with music, dance, and ritual. Life moves at a pace dictated by the land itself. For centuries, these mountains shielded the Kalash from the tides of history. Empires have risen and fallen beyond these peaks, but the valleys remained a world apart, their culture and beliefs preserved in isolation. Today, that isolation is fragile. Tourists and modernity are knocking at the door. Roads are improving, and the outside world is closer than ever before, bringing both opportunity and uncertainty. The challenge is no longer just survival against nature, but against the pressures of the 21st century. Technology, tourism, and changing values are reshaping the landscape, and the Kalash must navigate a new reality. The Kalash now face a delicate balance, preserving their heritage while engaging with a world closing in. Elders share stories and wisdom while the youth look outward, eager to learn yet determined to hold on to their roots. Their endurance is being tested as never before. The strength of their community, their traditions, and their identity is under pressure, but their spirit remains unbroken. The question is, can their spirit endure the changes ahead? As the world grows ever closer, the story of the Kalash becomes a story of resilience, adaptation, and hope, a testament to the enduring power of culture in the face of change. The Kalash are a people apart, Pakistan's last pagans living in the shadow of the mighty Hindu Kush mountains. For centuries they have preserved a way of life that is unlike any other in the region, holding fast to their ancient roots despite the tides of history swirling around them. They are the keepers of a unique polytheistic faith, worshipping a pantheon of gods and spirits, and performing rituals that have been passed down through generations. In a nation overwhelmingly Muslim, their beliefs, language, and customs set them apart. The Kalash language, music, and vibrant festivals are unlike anything found elsewhere in Pakistan, making their culture both distinct and precious. With only about 4,000 people left, they are an endangered culture, their numbers dwindling as modern influences and outside pressures grow. Their home is the remote Chitral valleys, high in the mountains, where life is both blessed and burdened by isolation. The rugged landscape protects their traditions, but also makes daily life a challenge. Their religion shapes every aspect of life, from rituals in sacred halls filled with song and dance, to the separation of women during childbirth and menstruation, a practice rooted in ancient beliefs about purity and the cycles of nature. Purity and impurity define their social world, not as subjugation, but as cosmic balance, a way to maintain harmony between the human and the divine. Legends claim descent from Alexander the Great's soldiers, adding to their air of mystery and fascination for outsiders, but science shows they are a distinct ancient Eurasian people, with their own unique genetic and cultural heritage. This mystique draws outsiders and curious travelers, but the Kalash remain rooted in their own story. proud of their identity, and wary of losing it. Their identity is inseparable from their land and traditions, woven into every aspect of daily life, from farming to weaving, from storytelling to song. In a rapidly changing world, the Kalash are a living link to a distant past, a testament to resilience, and a reminder of the beauty of cultural diversity. Dawn in the Kalash valleys brings life in harmony with nature. Men tend goats in fields, women manage homes, weave textiles, and harvest wild foods. Their homes, built from stone and cedar, cling to the mountainsides, testaments to ingenuity. Women's knowledge of the land is vast, passed down through generations. Winemaking is a unique tradition, with grapes crushed by foot and wine central to festivals and rituals. Evenings are for storytelling around the fire, elders passing on myths and laws. Oral tradition is the lifeblood of their culture. Life is hard, but rich in community and tradition. The Kalash endure, bound to their land and each other. The Kalash women's clothing is a vivid declaration of identity. Black wool robes, or chio, are embroidered with bright geometric patterns, each stitch a link to the past. The headdress, shushut, adorned with cowrie shells, beads, and coins, is both art and heritage. Its weight is a daily reminder of their role as cultural guardians. Kalash women enjoy remarkable social freedom, participating openly in community life and choosing their partners. Their visibility is a cornerstone of their culture, but also a source of unwanted attention. Tourists and cameras often turn their lives into spectacle, reducing rich traditions to mere visuals. The very attire that empowers them also exposes them to exploitation. Preserving dignity amid fascination is a constant struggle. Their dress is both shield and burden in a changing world. Festivals are the heartbeat of Kalash life, sacred, joyous, and unifying. Chilam Joshi in May welcomes spring with music, dance, and rituals of purification. It's a time for courtship, hope, and gratitude for survival. Uchal, the harvest festival, gives thanks for the land's bounty, reinforcing their bond with nature. Koimus, the winter solstice, is the most sacred, 2 weeks of spiritual renewal, often closed to outsiders. These festivals are not relics, but living traditions that bind the community. They celebrate resilience, identity, and the cycles of the earth. In every song and dance, the Kalash reaffirm who they are. Their festivals are a defiant stand against the erasure of their culture. The Kalash valleys, once protected by isolation, are now magnets for tourists and influencers. Visitors arrive seeking the exotic, often disregarding customs and privacy. Unregulated tourism turns daily life into a spectacle, especially for women, who face constant objectification. Social media amplifies the problem, spreading stereotypes and fueling more intrusive visits. A 2023 legal case against a YouTuber highlighted the crisis of consent and exploitation. The influx strains the fragile ecosystem. Waste, pollution, and unchecked development threaten the valleys. Tourism brings some income, but at a steep cultural and environmental cost. The Kalash are caught between economic need and the erosion of their way of life. Their struggle is a warning about the price of unchecked curiosity. Beyond tourism, the Kalash face a more ominous threat: regional insecurity. Their home in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa borders Afghanistan, a region plagued by militant violence. The resurgence of the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan has brought fear and instability. The Kalash, as a non-Muslim minority, are especially vulnerable to extremist ideology. While not direct targets, the threat is ever present, complicating daily life and travel. Military operations offer some protection but deepen isolation and scrutiny. The conflict makes aid and support harder to access. The Kalash must navigate not just cultural survival, but geopolitical danger. Their fate is tied to a fragile peace beyond their control. Resilience here means enduring both internal and external storms. In response to exploitation, Pakistan has begun to act. The 2023 prosecution of an invasive YouTuber set a legal precedent for Kalash protection. Now permits are required for visitors, with strict rules on consent and conduct. These laws aim to filter out exploitative tourism and empower the Kalash to defend their privacy. Enforcement is difficult in such remote terrain, often falling to the community itself. The challenge is balancing protection with openness to positive engagement. New efforts support language, crafts, and infrastructure that serve the Kalash, not just tourists. The goal: let the Kalash shape their own future, on their own terms. True preservation means giving them the tools and authority to thrive. The Kalash story is one of resilience, but also a warning, a reminder that even the most vibrant cultures can be vulnerable in a rapidly changing world. For centuries, the Kalash have held onto their unique traditions, language, and beliefs, despite being surrounded by influences that threaten to overwhelm them. Their greatest threat now is not invasion, but the slow erosion of identity by outsiders, by the steady march of modernity, and by the allure of a world that often values conformity over difference. The younger generation faces a difficult choice: to embrace the wider world or to hold fast to the customs of their ancestors. Preservation isn't about freezing them in time, but empowering them to adapt on their own terms. It means supporting their right to choose which traditions to keep, which to evolve, and how to shape their future without losing their sense of self. Regulations are a start, but real change requires respect, listening, and support for Kalash-led initiatives. True preservation is a partnership, not a prescription, one that values the Kalash voice above all. Their survival is a test of our humanity. Will we be passive consumers of their culture, or active allies in its protection? The answer lies in how we choose to engage, and whether we see the Kalash as living people, not museum pieces. The Kalash are a mirror for the world's struggle to maintain diversity and dignity. Their festivals, music, and rituals are not just relics, they are living expressions of joy, resilience, and identity. Their population is small, their challenge is immense, but their spirit endures. Each elder is a living library, each child a promise for tomorrow. Every dance, every story, every stitch is an act of defiance and hope, a declaration that their way of life matters, and that it deserves a place in the world's future. If we let this unique culture fade, we all lose something irreplaceable, a piece of humanity's shared heritage, a voice that can never be replaced. The responsibility to help the Kalash thrive belongs to us all. It is a call to action for governments, organizations, and individuals alike to stand with them, not just as observers, but as partners. Their flame must not only endure, it must shine brighter than ever, lighting the way for all who believe in the beauty and strength of cultural diversity.